Your cat is sitting across the room, watching you. You look up from your phone, and she meets your gaze for a moment before her eyes close halfway. Hold. Then open again, slowly. You've probably heard this called a cat kiss, or seen it labeled as affection in some Instagram caption. That's not wrong, but it's also not remotely the full picture of what just happened. What your cat did involves a controlled override of one of her most fundamental survival instincts. And the research on this behavior reveals something far more specific about the neurological state she enters when she chooses to do it with you. Number 1. Sleep within arm's reach while exposing the belly. In 2019, researchers at the University of Lincoln conducted a study with 37 domesticated cats, tracking their sleep positions relative to their primary caregiver over a 6-week period. What they found was striking. Cats who demonstrated other markers of secure attachment, verified through modified Ainsworth strange situation tests, chose sleeping positions within 1 meter of their human 73% of the time. But here's the detail that matters. Of those close proximity sleepers, 61% positioned themselves belly up or side exposed at least once per sleep cycle. That's not incidental. The ventral surface, the belly and throat area, contains the most vulnerable access points to vital organs. For a solitary hunter whose survival has historically depended on threat detection during rest, choosing to sleep with these areas exposed requires the active suppression of hypervigilance. A companion study by Dr. Saho Takagi at Kyoto University in 2020 measured cortisol levels in cats before and after sleep sessions. Cats who slept in exposed positions near their owners showed a 34% reduction in baseline cortisol compared to cats who slept in enclosed spaces or in defensive positions. What's happening at the physiological level is a deliberate downregulation of the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center. Your cat's nervous system has categorized your presence as safe enough to enter a parasympathetic state, the rest and digest mode that's incompatible with vigilance. She's not just comfortable, she's chemically recalibrated her threat assessment because of you. Number 2. Head bonking and cheek rubbing on your face. When your cat presses her forehead against your chin or drags the side of her face across your cheek, she's activating scent glands located in very specific regions. The temporal glands sit just above the eyes, the perioral glands cluster around the mouth, and the submandibular glands rest under the jaw. These areas produce pheromones, specifically feline facial pheromones, that researchers have isolated into 5 distinct fractions, labeled F1 through F5. In 2017, a team at the University of Bristol analyzed the chemical composition of F4, the pheromone most heavily deposited during cat-to-human facial rubbing. They found it contains several volatile compounds, including fatty acids and triglycerides, that are unique to each individual cat, functioning as a chemical signature. But here's what makes this behavior a trust signal, rather than simple scent marking. A 2021 study, published in Applied Animal Behavior Science, tested 48 cats and their response to head bunting, the formal term for this behavior. Cats only initiated facial rubbing with humans during moments of lowered arousal, specifically when their heart rate dropped below 140 beats per minute, the threshold indicating calm rather than excitement or stress. They also chose to deposit these pheromones on the human's face, the most scent-rich area of the human body, rather than hands or legs, which would be easier to access. From your cat's perspective, she's not marking territory. She's creating a shared scent profile, blending her chemical signature with yours in the location where you emit the most olfactory information. She's building a colony scent, the mixed pheromone signature that cats in trusted social groups create to identify insiders. Number 3. The slow blink in direct eye contact. Return to that moment from the opening. Your cat holds your gaze and performs the slow blink. In 2020, Researchers at the University of Sussex ran 2 experiments involving 21 cats to decode what this behavior actually communicates. In the first experiment, cat owners were instructed to slow blink at their cats while maintaining eye contact. The cats reciprocated with their own slow blink 70% of the time, a response rate far higher than baseline eye closure during normal activity. In the second experiment, strangers performed the slow blink toward unfamiliar cats. Those cats were significantly more likely to approach the stranger afterward, compared to cats in a control group who received neutral facial expressions. The researchers measured this as a 17-second reduction in approach latency. What this reveals is that the slow blink functions as a deliberate signal, not a passive expression of contentment. Dr. Tasman Humphrey, who led the study, described it as a positive emotional communication. But the mechanism underneath is even more specific. Sustained eye contact in feline communication typically signals confrontation or threat assessment. Predators lock eyes before an attack. Rival cats stare each other down before a fight. By slowly closing her eyes during direct eye contact, your cat is performing a controlled interruption of threat signaling. She's removing her gaze from you at the moment of highest vulnerability, the moment when an aggressor could strike. She's demonstrating that she has reclassified you from potential threat to trusted companion. The slow blink is not affection. It's the voluntary deactivation of a threat response in your presence. Number 4. Bringing you dead or injured prey. Your cat drops a dead mouse at your feet, or worse, a live injured bird that's still moving. The standard explanation you've probably heard is that she's teaching you to hunt because she thinks you're incompetent. That explanation has been repeated so many times, it's calcified into common knowledge. But it's not supported by the research. In 2018, Dr. John Bradshaw at the University of Bristol School of Veterinary Sciences analyzed prey-presenting behavior in 114 cats over an 8-month period. What he found was that cats do not present prey to humans they perceive as subordinate or incapable. They present prey to humans they've categorized as part of their social group, specifically their core group. The distinction matters. Cats are not obligate social animals like dogs or wolves. They form facultative social groups, meaning they choose to affiliate only when resources and safety allow for it. In feral cat colonies, prey sharing happens almost exclusively between related females, mothers and daughters, or between cats who have established long-term affiliative bonds. A 2015 study published in Behavioral Processes tracked 27 feral cat colonies and documented that prey was shared with only 8% of colony members, those who had demonstrated repeated allo-grooming and resting in physical contact. When your cat brings you prey, she's extending colony membership to you. She's acting as though you belong to her core survival group, the 8% who get access to resources. This behavior also reveals something about her assessment of your relationship's permanence. Cats don't waste high-value resources on transient relationships. The energetic cost of hunting, combined with the risk of injury during the hunt, means prey represents a significant investment. She's investing that resource in you because her nervous system has coded you as long-term kin. Number 5. Kneading on your body while purring. Your cat climbs onto your lap, presses her front paws into your thigh in an alternating rhythm, and begins to purr. This behavior, called kneading, originates in kittenhood. Nursing kittens knead their mother's mammary glands to stimulate milk flow. Most explanations stop there, suggesting it's a comfort behavior your cat retained from infancy. That's partially true, but incomplete. Research from 2016, conducted at the University of Vienna, studied 32 adult cats and measured what happens neurologically during kneading. Using non-invasive sensors, they tracked oxytocin release, the hormone associated with bonding and trust, in both the cat and the human during kneading episodes. Oxytocin levels in the cat increased by 47% during kneading compared to baseline, but only when the cat was kneading a human, not when kneading a blanket or soft surface. The researchers concluded that kneading directed at a person reactivates the kitten-mother bonding circuit, but with the human now occupying the maternal role in that neural pathway. Your cat is not confused about whether you're her mother. She's accessing the same neurochemical reward system she used as a kitten, because you've become associated with safety and resource provision at a biological level. The purring that accompanies kneading adds another layer. A 2009 study in the Journal of the Acoustical Society of America found that purring frequencies, which range between 25 and 150 Hz, promote bone density and tissue healing in cats. But purring also functions as a self-soothing mechanism during stress. When your cat purrs while kneading you, she's in a state of simultaneous contentment and vulnerability, using you as both the safe base and the source of comfort. Each of these 5 behaviors shares a common feature. They require your cat to override a threat detection system that evolution has refined over millions of years to keep solitary hunters alive. Sleeping belly up disables postural defenses. Facial rubbing deposits, identifying scent on a being large enough to be dangerous. Slow blinking removes visual monitoring at the moment of highest risk. Prey sharing diverts resources away from self-preservation. Kneading reactivates an infant vulnerability state. The research across all these studies points to the same underlying mechanism. Trust in cats is not an emotional abstraction. It's a measurable recalibration of the autonomic nervous system, the system that governs survival responses without conscious control. When your cat performs these behaviors, her amygdala has reclassified you. You've moved from the category of potential threat to the category of safe base, a neurological designation reserved for environments and beings where the cost of vulnerability is lower than the benefit of connection. In 2022, researchers at Oregon State University confirmed this through a comprehensive study of 70 cats using the secure base test, adapted from attachment research in primates. Cats who demonstrated 3 or more of these trust behaviors showed secure attachment patterns in 64% of cases, meaning they used their human as a source of comfort during stress and exploration during calm. The next time your cat slow blinks at you from across the room or climbs onto your chest and starts kneading, here's what's actually happening beneath the surface. Her threat detection system is standing down. Her oxytocin pathways are activating. Her survival instincts are being voluntarily suppressed because her nervous system has determined that you are worth the risk. If you've seen any of these behaviors in your cat, leave a comment describing which one happens most often. And if you want to understand more about what the science reveals about how cats actually think and bond, subscribe for more research-backed breakdowns of feline behavior.